日本時間8日ドジャースはブルージェイズに4対1で勝利しました。ドジャースの先発は山本由伸で昨年のポストシーズンからブルージェイズ相手に3連勝中。17回と3分の2を投げて防御率 1.02 と得意としている相手で、初回に3者連続三振の好スタートを切ると、5回まで3塁を踏ませない投球を見せ、6回1失点の好投でドジャースを勝利に導きました。また、大谷翔平も3回に山本由伸投手を援護する先制タイムリーを放つなど、3打数1安打1打点2四球で勝利に貢献しています。試合後には両軍の現地中継から山本を称賛する声が多く聞かれて、チームメイトからも山本をリスペクトする声が聞かれていましたので、その模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
Some really good feelings for Yoshinobu Yamamoto and great memories taking the mound in Toronto tonight. His first time pitching at Rogers Center since he closed out Game 7 of the World Series. Jerry, he won 3 games for the Dodgers in that Fall Classic, and all 3 of them were there at Rogers Center.
You know, all-time World Series performance by Yamamoto. He was on each game he pitched. Started 2 games, closed out Game 7. Clutch effort on the mound. I know he has all great feelings coming back there, pitching in Toronto, and that epic play there by Pages running over Kike Hernandez. Don't worry, Kike is just fine. Yamamoto, I know he's going to be pumped up. Closing out, you see it right here, closing out the World Series. That was the last pitch of 2025. What a moment.
There are stadiums, when you're a pitcher or whether you're a position player. So when you're hitting, like when you step in the batter's box and you just feel so good at that stadium, whether it's the batter's eye, when you look out, the surrounding out in the field where you just feel like, man, there are some holes out there. Like I can hit here. There's just certain stadiums that make you feel that way. And there's other stadiums that make you feel the opposite way as well. But for pitchers, they say the same thing. There are certain stadiums and mounds when they're on there, there's just a feeling that they have. They look at the surroundings when they're looking at the plate, like everything seems to go right. I wonder for Yamamoto if he feels that at Toronto, or maybe he doesn't because he was so locked in. He didn't get a chance to really take it all in. So maybe this is time for him to finally take it all in at that stadium because, man, there's no doubt he was just focused and got the job done.
Hi, John. Well, yesterday afternoon, we actually got to sit down with Yoshinobu Yamamoto, asking him what it's like returning here to Rogers Center, where, of course, the last time we saw him on that mound, he was celebrating, lifting up that World Series trophy and, of course, the World Series MVP trophy. And he said, it is a bit nostalgic. There are, of course, sentimental moments and really strong memories, but his focus is on his start today and moving forward on this 2026 season. Dave Roberts, though, today he talked about Yoshinobu, what he's been seeing from him to start the season, and what he learned from Yoshi last year and how he was able to show up and perform for his team on the biggest of stage.
First one really good. Second one just not as crisp and sharp. Yeah, I mean, I think with the great ones, they're always kind of searching for perfection, which is hard to attain. But, you know, you can always bet on him. I think that getting back here, I think he's excited to get on the mound again and expect to see a good one tonight.
I know we've talked about how you never see a starter who obviously takes a game in the World Series in Game 6 and comes out of the bullpen in Game 7. But what did you just specifically learn about Yoshinobu, how he takes care of his body, how he shows up for his team, and how he was able to perform and do that in 3 games in the World Series?
Yeah, and I think you can add to that Game 3 when he got loose and was hot and didn't come into the game. I think that, you know, he's a guy that will do whatever it takes you know, to help his team win. And I was thinking about this about a week ago. He's won an Olympic gold medal, right? I think he's won a medal in the Olympics. He's won a couple WBCs. He's won a couple World Series championships. He's won the Cy Young, you know, the best pitcher in Japan. So it's like, this guy's a winner. And he's shown that he'll do anything, he'll do whatever it takes to win. And so that's part of his DNA.
It's exactly that, what Dave Roberts said. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he is a winner. And even if we remember last year, of course, this soundbite from the postseason, he said that losing was not an option. He proved that with his performance he had on the mound. But he said a lot of that was really due to just how he prepares his body. If you look at his routine, he makes sure that he throws the javelin every single day outside of his start day. That's how he understands just where his mechanics are at for how he's going to be feeling on the mound. He's very intentional. Yesterday, he did actually throw his bullpen. It wasn't necessarily supposed to. That normally would be 2 days before in his routine, but due to the weather in DC, he threw yesterday. He's actually also planning to throw his bullpen tomorrow, more of a touch and feel just because it's a day after a start, but with the off day on Thursday, he does want to give himself that true off day. So how he's able to be flexible with his routine, that allows with the success we saw on the mound and how he was able to show up truly day after day for this team, guys.
When it comes to then obviously the pitchers we've been seeing in this series, I mean, today we're going to see Kevin Gausman. Of course, we've got Yoshino Yamamoto for us. With Yoshi, what is it like for you? First, I want to ask you watching him, but then also catching him. So when you're kind of just viewing how the stuff is playing from him, how he's able to go back out there, be readily available, what is it like just from the catcher standpoint and what you're seeing?
He's one of the best pitchers I think I've ever been able to work with and watch. And when I say pitchers, it's a guy that can adjust on the fly, understand what the objective is each start. He can pivot at any moment. He's got more pitches than any pitcher in baseball. So he's got the resources, he's got the avenues to take from a pitching perspective. But another thing for me is nothing ever speeds him up. So it's whether he runs into trouble in the first, the fourth, the seventh, whatever it is, he kind of goes right back to the plan and just does his job. I'm very excited to watch this matchup tonight, and look forward to obviously just seeing another good Yoshi outing. You know, it's easy to root for a guy like that, a guy that prepares the way that he does, a guy that obviously has the talent that he does. And yeah, obviously everyone around the world is going to be watching this matchup tonight, and hopefully we can have our guy come out on top.
Bottom of the order again, getting the job done. 7 through 9 in the Dodger lineup, the best in baseball by 150 points of OPS. Dave Roberts is saying before the game, that's when this lineup really gets scary. Ohtani lifts a fly ball to right field. Lucas is going back. It's off the wall. Dodgers on the board first. Kim in to score. Freeland to third. Shohei Ohtani with an RBI single. 1-0.
Shohei hit this like a 1-iron. He just went down and just dropped the head of the bat on it and just hits a screaming line drive. Without the double width fence, the height of this fence keeps it in the ballpark. If it's one of those 8-foot fences, it's out of here.
About put a hole in the fence.
You also saw tonight why Yamamoto played such a pivotal role, probably the most important role of any Dodger in the World Series last year, in ensuring that they won said World Series. And you saw reasons why over 6 innings tonight.
He's nasty. If you could create a pitcher on a video game, it would look just like that guy right there. He's got 6 different pitches. He's got weapons galore. Look, it's all about tunneling, command, being deceptive, the stuff he has, the speed differential. Like literally, if you were going to sit there and say, I'm going to create the best pitcher on the planet, it might look just like him. The way that the ball comes out, these short, late movements are virtually impossible to really pick up on, and he's got 20-mile-an-hour difference between his fastball and his breaking ball, that slow curveball. He has a weapon for every type of target that you try and go after. He can counter with the opposite. Most pitchers, they only have 3 or 4 pitches. I mean, look at Gausman. He's really a 2-pitch pitcher. Yamamoto has 6, and it's all up and down, east-west, push and pull. It's the type of arsenal that you just cannot defend against. It's if he beats himself, that's the only chance you have. He has command galore. He can put it where he wants. It's a really tough AB, because when you think you have him figured out, he can throw a sinker up and in. If you're looking slider away, if you're looking up, then he goes split underneath. Like, he just figures it out, and because his command is so good, because his stuff is so elite, it's almost impossible.
You were told just kind of what your role was going to be, and being that guy at the bottom of the order. With you and Hae-Sung Kim today, how you guys were able to continue to turn things over, counting for 4 of the runs. I mean, how do you describe what the 2 of you could do and how it sets up the top of the order?
No, I mean, I think me and Kim down at the bottom of the order, we might get overlooked a lot, but you know, I think both of us can put together quality at bats and flip a lineup and have speed on the bases, especially for guys like Sho and Tuck at the top, and they hit those gap shots and we could score.
Now tell me, what was it like playing behind Yoshinobu Yamamoto today?
It's always special to play behind him. I always really enjoy watching him throw.
You knew that this was going to be an exciting series. When it came to a World Series rematch, I mean, describe what it was like to kind of being a part of this matchup, and of course, how close this one today was.
Yeah, well, I mean, last year I wasn't here, so this was my first time experiencing it, but like I could feel the tension and feel the atmosphere, and man, I just enjoy playing in an environment like this, so I really enjoyed it.
Great night for Alex Freeland and the Dodgers. Yoshinobu Yamamoto back in Toronto. He was the World Series MVP the last 3 times he had pitched there. Complete game in Game 2 of the World Series. He wins Game 6, and he wins Game 7 coming out of the bullpen, Jerry. And then tonight, 6+ innings, allowed just 1 run with 6 strikeouts.
Hey, you know, the Blue Jays offense was trying to get their get back tonight after getting beaten down last night, Game 1 of the series. Yamamoto, outstanding job keeping their bats silent, only allowing that 1 run in 6 innings. Fastball working, outstanding split, and that curveball, too. When you have 3 pitches like that, it is so tough to cover for an offense.
I mean, early on, he looked great, striking out the side, you know, right from the get-go, was going. And we mentioned before the game, key to him is having that fastball command. Well, he had that, and that allowed all those other off-speed pitches to just be devastating. You get the swing and miss. When he's going out there and he's dotting the bottom part of the zone, especially with the fastball, because we know he has the devastating split finger. And so as a hitter, you're going, well, I like to get him up, because then if he throws a split finger, potential will flatten out, or I can lay off of that because it usually falls out of the zone. But when he's throwing that fastball for a strike down in the bottom part of the zone, now I can't give up on that. I have to look for that pitch. And then his split finger looks like his fastball. You swing at it, and then he has such a late, tight break to his slider as well. Yes. And that also is location. Where it was starting was in the zone, so you're staying on it as a hitter, and the next thing you know, you've already committed, and you're swinging and missing.
The slider he threw to Springer was absolutely filthy. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a fastball. It looked like a fastball on TV. Try being in the batter's box and try to pick up that late breaking slider and understanding that's probably his 4th best pitch. Fastball, split, curveball, and then the slider. He's had that working. It's just tough sledding for hitters.
Yoshi, when you look at this outing, how you were able to navigate so efficiently through the Blue Jays lineup, did you find that today was probably the best you felt this regular season?
まず今日これだけ効果的に投げれた要因と今シーズン3試合ですけど一番良かったですか？
そうですね。前の2試合に比べてまた少し感覚がよくコントロールして投げられたなと思います。はい。
Yes, I felt better than last two outings.
With what do you think happened there, either in the 6th or even early in the 7th, that just allowed them to attack you a little bit differently?
まあ6回と7回の最初の方、ちょっとうまくいかなかった要因って相手の方にありましたか？
まあちょっとセット入ってからまあもう少しなところがあるなと、今日の試合で感じましたし、まあそこは一つ課題ではありますけど、まあ後半なんとか7回3人抑えて、っていうのが一番良かったんですけど、まあちょっと先頭を出してしまって、まあベシアに助けられました。
Yeah, because a little bit I was off from the stretch, and then that's something I need to clean up for the next outing. And then I wanted to complete the 7th inning, but I allowed it lead off, and then I get on the base. And so that's something I need to look back on.
The first 5 innings were really no stress. What was working so well in that stretch?
まあ5回まで素晴らしかったんですけども、何が一番うまくいった要因ですか？5回まで。
まあノーワインドの時、まあ昨日からまたちょっと感覚が良くなって、なのでまあコントロールしっかり、まあストレートも変化球も思ったように投げれてたので、まあ相手は積極的に来てましたけど、それがうまいことこうはまって球数も少なくいけてたかなと、はい、思います。
Yeah, because yesterday, since yesterday, because I started feeling even better, and I was able to carry that on into today's game, and then so that's why I was able to control my pitches, both fastball and then also off speed.
The second time you faced Sanchez, you really had him off balance. Just what did you learn from that first at bat that you then brought into that second time?
サンチェス選手をやっぱり今日ちょっと的絞らせないみたいな感じだったんですけども、1回目の対戦の後何か変えたりしましたか？
いえ、特に変えたとかはないですけど、まあこうなんて言うんだろうな、まあたまたまこういろんな球種を使って、っていう打席になりましたね。はい。
Because I think I was able to efficiently mix in my pitches.
Number 2 on the year for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Nomar, how did he get it done?
Well, listen, he had all of his pitches working, really getting ahead, especially with that fastball, and then sets up this right here. You get the slider with the swing and miss, starting off in the zone, and here is a great sinker. How about the movement on that ball where it comes back and goes over middle plate, then you come back with the slider, but that's not all he has, too. He has one where it just kind of cuts, gets the top of the zone. Here is 0-2, another split finger. That's what you're looking for. But how about this curveball? 3-2, what do you look for? 3-2, you're thinking maybe fastball, he doesn't want to walk anybody, and he throws a big curveball like that to get the swing and miss. Just nasty.
That splitter to Valenzuela, that was old school. Fernando Valenzuela, the screwball-like action running away, but it was a split. That is absolutely filthy. I'm sure Valenzuela went back and looked at the video and said, are you kidding me? You ain't hitting that.
First, Yoshinobu, just what he was able to do, especially kind of, let's start with, I guess, through the 5 innings of work, how efficient he was. What were you seeing with him when it came to just his command and how he was controlling the strike zone?
Yeah, I mean, he had command of everything. I thought the split, the fastball, you know, using the curveball when he needed to, you know, he got those guys in a swing mode kind of a situation where they didn't want to get into counts. You saw they were aggressive, which helped the efficiency, and you know, he threw the baseball really well. And so to get him to touch the 6th inning, you know, Okamoto did a great job on that challenge where he could have punched him out. Gives it the double, then the bunt base hit. So I thought right there it was a good time to get Vesia in there, and you know, after the leadoff walk, he did a great job of, you know, limiting the damage or actually preventing no damage, you know, allowing no damage. And so just a great outing by Vess, and yeah, Trinan was really good tonight, and then finishing it with Diaz.
When you look at just what the bottom of the order has been able to do, I mean, how valuable is it when you have a guy, whether it's Alex Freeland or Hae-Sung Kim, and how they're either getting on base, being able to turn over the lineup, and just continuing to be a threat at the bottom of the lineup?
You know, it's one of those things that it seems like each night the guys at the bottom are doing things to help us win. And tonight, Alex, the sac bunt, then the base hit, you know, with the guy on first base, gets another hit late. And he's obviously been playing a lot of great defense, but just to be able to have some production at the bottom of the order, and then Shohei was on base, you know, 2 or 3 times tonight. So it just makes our lineup go, and it's, you know, you just can't come up for air. And Gossman is one of the best in the game. And so for us to, you know, manufacture early and, you know, get him out when we did, that's a big win.